Hello and welcome to another TNC opposition preview. Last time out, just in case you needed reminding, it was another loss, this time away to Everton. Up next, it's time to see what we've got away at Burnley. Caveat to all of this before we start, we are filming this both after disappointing losses. Sorry, not losses, you got a draw actually. So the mood is fairly low in this interview right now, but let's see how things go. Anyway, who better to talk to us and give us all the Burnley insights than Liam, aka Mr. Vizzer. Liam, how are you feeling?
I'm happy to be on it. I've always I'm kind of like a kind of mini fan of like TalkNorwichCity. I don't know why. I've always watched you guys since like you had like some weird like checkered kind of style kits like back in I think it was like 16, 17 or maybe 15, 16. I don't know why. I just I've always kind of felt like I always want to be in like a channel of yours. So like I'm looking forward to being on it really.
Well, you're in. Welcome to hell. And I'll ask you a strong question to start off with, Liam, which is what happened against Leicester? And why didn't you get all 3 points? Why did you crumble away? And another question to add to those two questions, can Norwich hurt you in the same way Leicester did today?
Honestly, man, that Norwich game is every emotion possible that you could feel. Yeah, I felt it. And like you would think after being a Burnley fan of all teams, that's a Burnley fan of 23 years of my life, I would get used to us, defending a lead by skin of our teeth. I'm still not used to it. If anything, it's worse now. It's worse. The older I get, the more harder it is for me. Usually, I'm at the games, but because I've moved to Poland and like my lass is 36 weeks pregnant, I can't sadly say, "Oh, sorry, love, I'm off to go to fucking Leicester away." So I watch it on on Canal Plus, and I absolutely despise it. And every emotion possible. Cornet, a record breaker signing, scored an absolute banger, a volley. We went ahead twice in the game. Overall, the first half really, fairly even, I'll say, over the course of the game. Second half, Cornet was just sprinting. He got a bit of a hamstring injury, I believe. I don't know how long he's out for, but could be 2, 3, 4 weeks. Could be a month or two. I don't know as of right now. It doesn't seem too serious, but yeah. So you go from the absolute glory of him scoring a volley to make it 2-1, and then not even 4 minutes later, he then gets injured with a hamstring. So it's like, I was actually on Photoshop making the Pele photo of him with his hand up, with his arm up. I was putting his face on it, and then literally I hit him right to the side. If I got injured, I was absolutely raging. So then, yeah, defending for our lives, and then Vardy. I don't like Vardy. I really don't. And then nibbled it 2-2. And then we scored in 94th minute. And then Chris Wood's offside. Of course he fucking is. So every emotion possible. I swear to God, I screamed down the entirety of Poland. I'm not going to lie. I wished I were lying because it's kind of embarrassing, but I screeched for a minute straight all for a goddamn offside call. I'm raging. So right now, every emotion possible, I felt it.
Mate, if you think it's bad in the Burnley world right now, imagine being in the Norwich City world, because it is dismal. And you didn't answer the last question there, which is, can Norwich hurt you in the same way Leicester did?
I'll be honest here. I feel like Norwich is a perfect side for Burnley to play against. I feel like the way that Burnley plays, I think Norwich is just a perfect team to play against. And I've always felt this way. People may say the FA Cup game, but who gives a shit about cups, really? Like, I think Norwich is the perfect team because I think that, and I think the worst part, because I'm a fan of you guys, so like I know about the inside of being a Norwich fan, really. I feel a little bit anyway. I know a few mates. And I think the most sad part is the fact that none of this your guys start is surprising in any way whatsoever. I think that's the worst part. That like, yeah, you've lost. Is it 6 of the first 6 games, and you're like, yeah, what do you expect? So yeah, about Burnley v Norwich to start off, I think that it's probably the best team that we could possibly face right now.
Right, that's it.
Not just by the fact you're lower down, but just by the fact that our play style to your play style. I think that we could bully you guys, honestly. And I'm seeing that you guys are already trying out some wacky ass formations. I feel like you guys are already early on in the season trying out some fun. What is it? 5-3-2 you did today?
God knows.
What even was that?
Mate, we'll get on to the bullying part in a minute because I think that's a key component part of your game, which I'm going to ask you about. But before I do that, who do the Norwich City team need to be worried about going to this Burnley game? Because it seems like every time we come up against you, it's your big bully boys, it's Chris Wood, etc., that seem to absolutely tear us a new one. Are we still watching out for those lads, or is there someone else new on the scene that we need to be aware of?
I mean, I would have said Cornet if he didn't get injured because he looked really lively, felt really efficient. That when he got the ball, and that he was always nice and smart of when to pass, when to move. But he'd be out for the game, sadly, obviously. So really, it is still very much Chris Wood. Ashley Barnes isn't. I'm not a massive fan of Ashley Barnes. I'm not really. He's not been a footballer in any sort of Premier League level for the last 3 years. I don't know how he still gets starts. Fortunately. For Leicester game, Vitra started, who is, for me, just another dimension to us. Like, he actually runs a lot.
I've always been a fan of
Vidra. Fast way.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Vidra, to be fair. He's a good player, actually. And God, you're already striking fear into me. You really are. And, mate, I wanted to ask you about Sean Dyche, and I wanted to ask you about the stigma and perception of Burnley with and without Sean Dyche, because there's been a lot of slander of Burnley recently around Burnley and literally nothing without Sean Dyche. What's your response to that?
Yeah. yeah. If Sean Dyche leaves, mate, I can't even tell you, like, League One, I don't know. Like the entire club, maybe not League One, because we've got players that are decent, but largely they are very much protected by the system that is, by the system that is placed in every part of the football club. I'm not, by the way, I say this sometimes, and people always take it the wrong way. I'm not comparing it to Sir Alex Ferguson, but to how important he was to Man United. If you take Sir Alex out, it's a 5-year rebuild job to get what he put into the club out of it and try to make a new thing.
Yeah.
If Dyche goes, he's been here for, I think it's 9 years now. You take him out of the club, every single part of it, the academy to youth to the community, every part of the club is solely based on this one man. He could spit on the fans and we'll still love him. That's how it feels like right now, because we are solely reliant on this guy to keep us up. We honestly, I think most people would, if he gets caught with their misses, they'd be like, you know what, pal, sure. just for one time. Honestly, that's how it feels like right now. And he's just signed a new contract as well to, I believe, 2025. So with Dyche, if he ever goes, which he will have to go one day, I've always felt like he'll go to Forest. I've always felt like Dyche and Forest has always had a link because he lives around the area. He's always found at Forest like games sometimes with his like family because I guess he lives around there. So I always got that kind of feeling with him. So if you're a better man, next 4 years, put Dyche on Forest. Telling you.
Interesting. And on the note of Sean Dyche, and again, the perception of the style of football, are you still a shithouse side? And do you think that people have maybe found out the Burnley way, particularly this season? Do you think that this could be the season that perhaps you come unstuck with that style of football?
I feel like we do play better football than what people think that we do. Like, for example, I don't know if you watched us against Liverpool.
No, I don't watch Burnley, mate.
Fair enough. I don't really fucking blame you, really. But like, we played against Liverpool. We went up against them in that first half, and we actually tried to play nice, triangles, and it wasn't just hoofball. And sometimes we do go into that shell, and it's always we have this thing. So basically, a good stat to really keep an eye on this year is the fact that I believe in every single game that we've played in, other than Liverpool, because we didn't score, we went ahead first. Every game, we went 1-0 up each game, and we've still not won a game 6 games in. That is a big issue, because when you think about Burnley, you don't think about free-flowing fucking goals. You think about defending for 1-0 win each time, or 0-0, a draw. Yeah. So the fact that we aren't defending the way that we typically are known for is a bit of a red flag, and we seem to have these weird 5-10 minute spells of absolute madness if we keep on conceding goals. It seems.
I'm going to need to stop you there. It is your lucky day next Saturday, because you're coming up against the Norwich side where we haven't won a game after conceding since the birth of Jesus Christ.
All right, so 1-1 draw then.
Mate, honestly,
1-1 draw.
I would take that, but we'll get onto that in just a minute. And what's the ambition for this season? Is it just all about survival for you, or do you want to see Burnley higher up the table?
Well, of course, you always want to see your club higher up and not in a relegation fight. And we've just got new ownership of American ownership, so we've got a bit more money flowing to the club. Nothing insane; it's still a slow process, but we're building towards something. So this year, it feels like it really is just staying there. So that next year, then that's when fun begins. With Corney coming through, we're sending players that's not from the Championship or from Stoke. It's fucking great. We signed a player. Burnley signed a player from Olympic Lyon. Excuse me, what? I'm sorry, but back in 2009, we didn't even know that Lyon even exists as a football club. Never mind, we're signing players from there. So this year, it does feel like stay up, and then we can crack on from this, because we are making more changes. We are changing some philosophy, but it's a slow process when you've not got the finances, and you would know all about having low finances. And that's why I always kind of respect you guys, really, because you really are always up against it.
We're trying, mate. We're trying. Literally, dealers down to her last peanuts, bless her heart. And even this season, we've put 50 million into it, and it feels like we've not even really scratched the surface in terms of making a dent. But that's because we haven't yet, and it's a real worrying time. And speaking of worry, I want to ask you, are you worried? Are you truly worried going to this game? Because, of course, Norwich haven't won a game this season. We've only scored 1 goal from open play. Do you think that will play into your hands, or are you thinking, actually, you know what, this is a big banana skin for Burnley?
I mean, it's absolutely terrifying because, I mean, it's September, pal, and this is the biggest 6 points I could possibly think of, honestly. Like, if we win this game, then I feel like, season's back up running again. If we don't win this game, then that's, like, massive for us, I feel, confidence-wise. Like, this has to be 3 points. It is. If we don't beat Norwich, we don't beat you guys, then Twitter is going to be an absolute shitstorm. I'm not looking forward to it. Everyone's going to think we're going down instantly, because that is a kind of general feeling. If Norwich in the Premier League, if you don't beat Norwich at home, then you're kind of down. Like, usually have a goals. If you don't beat Norwich, unless if you're Everton, like last time you faced them, like last year, because you lost today. But like, it just feels like if you can't beat Norwich, you're pretty much going down. Pretty much. That's how it feels, and I feel bad. But like, I always feel like there should be like a.
You know what? I can't argue against you. The sad thing is, I would normally be on this opposition preview, pulling some punches and actually, throwing some jabs back at you. But actually, I can't. I can't come back at you today with those questions. You can't. Honestly. No, well, don't. I've invited you on. So, will Norwich beat the drop this season?
You know what? I actually really liked you guys, because I like some nice signings that you made. I think Lees Malou is an absolute fucking bargain, may I say. Like, I think him is unbelievable, like, for the price you got him. But it feels like, you've got some maybe strikers in there. Like, Pukki is still one of them, obviously. But, like, Sargent and, like, Rashiska is still, like, a maybe could get 4-3 goals. So I really liked the look of you guys more this time than last time, because I felt like Burnley, when we had Dyche, he went up first time 14-15, then went down, came back up, learned about how to stay up, and then learned from his mistakes, and we stayed up that year. I thought this was your time to do that, and I do like the way you play football, but I've got to see something from you guys in the first couple of games, and I feel like one goal from open play. I thought you guys were more of an open play side, so I kind of like, who have you played? I guess it's really that Watford game that's really the real punch in the really, the massive punch in it. But to be fair, you face some hard teams: Leicester, Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. It's not the end of the world.
Support me. Give me some counselling. What are the positives for Norwich right now?
The fact that you've only played one team that's like a, you've only had one game out of 6. That's really like a fucking hell. Like, you faced some decent sides there.
Okay. I'll take that nugget of positivity then. I really, really will, and I'll hold on to it.
You've got the period in November. November is literally, if you guys don't get at least, like, I want to say 10 points by like the end of November. Basically, until Newcastle away, if you guys are still below 10 points, then I think you guys are gone. Because you've got like Brentford, Southampton, Wolves, and Newcastle in 4 games in a row. So that's really it for you guys.
November is crunch time. Now, this might be the easiest question of this video, Liam. If there was a Norwich player and you were forced to sign them for Burnley, which player would it be and why?
I mean, I don't want to really hurt your heart and say none, because that's the thing. I feel like if a Burnley fan said none, then I think that you should just pack up and go home now. But this is the thing. I've always liked... I think because of FIFA, everyone looks at Matt Sarans and he's like, yeah, he's like the next big thing. And I think because he's got pace on FIFA, people kind of big him up a bit more than what he really is. Defensively, he's kind of poor, isn't he? And that's why I would probably take him, because Lautner is a bit poor, but defensively, he would not suit Burnley. So I'm trying to think, pal, and I guess Lees Malou. I guess
you love Lees Malou, don't you? Okay, Lees Malou. That's the difference.
I like it. I mean, I guess also I do like a bit like Billy Gilmore, but he's on loan, isn't he? So I guess it doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't count, mate. He's not our boy.
Yeah, but like
breaking the barrel.
They play like a Cantwell. Is he more of a? Is he left sided or right sided player? Is he right?
I mean, personally, I think he can play in either of those positions, but that's my own opinion, and I'll probably be berated for that. So
I'll probably take Cantwell, because I guess Dwight left and then maybe Cantwell right because Cornet's injured. But again, I feel really bad, because even if Burnley fans kind of double think about if they want a player of yours, then that's really fucking low. I feel like there's gonna be some people in the comments saying, "Wow, this guy thinks he's a fucking like is this guy gonna think he's like king or something? Like he's looking down on you guys." I'm so sorry. It's
the brutal truth,
pain, isn't it?
No, that is just pain, and we've come to expect it. Let's talk about last time we played at Turf Moor. The last time was a cup game, as you said. It doesn't matter about the cup, but it did for us. It was a 2-1 win. Yeah. And Grant Hanley, a player that you boys will certainly not like, he scored. And also Josip Dermic, who was actually at the time probably not even a part-time, maybe even a full-time DJ, scored against you in a 2-1 win. In the league...
Excuse me, what do you mean like DJ? Excuse me, is that serious?
Yeah, Josip Dermic, check him out. No, search Josip Dermic No Tomorrow and you'll see, mate. That man scored against you, okay? Don't play it though, because we'll get done for copyright. And the league fixture, we lost 2-0. It was a comfortable win for you, and yet again, Burnley bullied us. What do you remember from those games?
The FA Cup game, I'll be honest, I completely forgot about. Burnley in the cups. We've not had a cup run since 2008, so it's like
no interest.
Cups and Burnley. Like, we've lost to like Burton, Aki Stanley, Sunderland. We've lost to like Port Vale in the last like 5 years in cups. I've been to most of those games. When it comes to cups, I kind of just turn off. Like the fact we didn't lose to Rochdale in the cup like last week stunned me, honestly. So yeah, and also Joe Hart started in that game against you guys in the cup. So really, in my opinion, doesn't count.
Okay.
If Joe Hart starts, it's just a valid game, like invalid. But no, you guys did well from what I remember. That I was like, all right, you know what, you've got something going on there with you guys. And then was the away game.
Yeah, talk to me about that at Carroll Road.
When I say this, I truly mean it. It felt like the most artificial, like fakest game of football I've ever seen. We've got Chris Wood doing bicycle kicks. We've got you doing the most ridiculous. I swear, I want to look back on that own goal that's like you scored. I swear he literally volleyed it into the back of your own net.
And
there was like no one around him. That was Godfrey.
Yeah, it was Ben Godfrey of all players.
Like at that stage, you guys obviously clearly just gave up. Like you guys could have stayed up, but you guys were down by that stage, and it just felt like it was just like I was pissed because I've never been Carrow Road. I really want to. That's like one of the only grounds I've not been to in like the top like 2 tiers, and of course that was when COVID hit, so I was proper gutted about that. But yeah, that second game. I don't think that game really counts because you guys were kind of already down and out.
Well,
really.
Come this season, make sure you visit Carrow this season, and we'll welcome you with open arms. It's a beautiful ground, a beautiful location, and probably.
And we can also actually get 3 points.
No, stop. Speaking 3 points. It's now getting to that time of the conversation where we have to start to talk about your prediction. But before I do that, head to head. Forever is actually that we've won 15 games. You've won 21 and we've drawn 7 times. I'm not sure that will matter going into this. So let's hear your prediction, but we do it differently on Talk Norwich City. What is your head saying and what is your heart saying?
I kind of want to hear your opinion on this though as well, because like I feel like it's been me talking.
Okay. Would you want me to go first?
Yeah, I want to go first because I feel like I've talked. I know it's like opponent, review, but I feel like it's just been on me. So I want to hear your thoughts on this first.
Okay, this is an absolutely huge game for Norwich, and although we saw some glimmers of performance progress against Everton, we still failed to do the basics. We are still changing our lineup and our formation. I think, and I'm desperately trying to talk this into existence, I think we'll start with the same shape and the same lineup. I think we might possibly change a couple of personnel. And therefore, I would expect us to stay in the game for longer. I think it's going to be one of, if not the most boring games in the Premier League this season. And that's not just from a Norwich City or Burnley point of view. That's for the whole league. And I think there's going to be a goal in it. And I think it's going to be a goal in off the arse. And I don't... My head says it's going to be a goal in off the arse for Burnley to make it 1-0 to you boys. But my heart says, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I'm saying it. It's going to be 1-0 to Norwich.
I mean, I don't expect any different, really. Like, I've never met a fan that's like ever said, "Oh yeah, with my heart, I think we'll lose." Like, what the fuck kind of fan are you then, really, lad? Like, come on, you can't think we're gonna win. Like, what kind of like maybe a draw, but like if you say you're gonna lose, then like like with your heart, then come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
Like you could be against Barcelona, you're still maybe not Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and you'd be like, yeah, I think we'll still win. Yeah.
Well, mate, we've beaten Bayern, so we're used to beating Bayern. Right, come on, let's hear your score prediction. Head and heart.
Okay, so I feel like I don't know why, but I feel like it's got 2-0 over it, head and heart. I don't know why. I can't. This is the thing, right? This is solely reliant on if you guys start with a 5-back or whatever your formation. If it's a 3-back, is it 3-back or 5-back? It's a 5-back, isn't it?
I don't know anymore, mate.
Yeah, the last a team that plays with a 5-back against Burnley usually always ends up in tears. I don't know why. It feels like it's negative to go to Burnley with a 5-back. It just feels like that, and we seem to always do well. And again, as I said earlier, I feel like Norwich is literally the perfect team. Like, how good are you guys at defending set pieces? That's literally how we scored 90% of our goals.
2 words: zonal marking.
Good luck. We literally scored a goal today from Vardy heading the ball into the back of his own net from a corner. That's how good we are. We have them score goals for us. That's how good we are at corners.
Oh, God.
I feel like it's just going to be one of those games, man. I feel like it's just
routine. So there you go. Liam says 2-0. Interested to hear your early score predictions in the comment section. Liam, thanks so much for coming on today, mate. Really appreciate it.
I enjoyed it. I feel like I talked a bit too much, but I feel like Norwich fans are gonna absolutely hate me. But I like you guys. I hope you guys stay up. I like your chant, your yellows. I like that. I like hearing the vlogs and they'll say yellows. I like that. I really do.
Great, thank you so much. And of course, please do go over to Liam's channel, visit, make sure you subscribe to it. And if you've enjoyed today's conversation, do give this video a like. As always, let us know your thoughts and opinions on social media and in the comment section. And I hope and I pray, and I've got everything crossed. And do you know what? I'm going to say something else. I'm going to wear my lucky pants against Burnley. We need to win that badly.
We're done for now.
The last time I wore my lucky pants was against Ipswich in the playoff semi-final, which we needed to win. I only wear them for the big games, and this has now been a big game. Liam, I'll leave you on that note. See you later on the Bull.